Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot.
Yo también quiero.
When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. Straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw OCS fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Crap. You should have put in my best with this piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace.
Y ahí está el control.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Usean ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron, IUPF, has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that? There's smoke! We're under attack. Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead. How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed.
Many injured.
Scramble! All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
Maya. Espérate. Dice la abuela soleada, cobertura nueva dispersa. ¿Cuánto tengo? Tonto. Ay, que está rancio, este control no me gusta.
Squadron aircraft preparation complete. Stand by at the front.
Con razón.
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron.
Oh, la cabina de esta cosa, qué rara. Está viendo, lo voy a usar la Play 4 porque no lo tenía.
Call sign is Mage 2. Verify and be back. Mage 2 will clear for takeoff. Your situation is tight. Inside one incoming fire. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor. Get that person into your base now.
Column Squadron, and you'll be better.
Se ve maravilloso.
With Mage 1.
Oh, y el agua.
Mage 2 altitude restriction is lifted.
cuenta de este nombre 4 si estaba igual.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit. Mage 2, warm up with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this. Golem Squadron, it's go time.
Roger that.
Golem 4, understood.
This is the AWACS Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst. Stay sharp.
Welcome. Trigger, I'm your wingman. Fly with me now. That's what it means to be.
Pull up.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Not bad, Mage 2. Trigger, switch your radar.
Clase de payaso, eres. Hay mucha risa.
There it is, sitting there all pretty, just waiting to be taken. They're way overhead.
Enemy clouds.
Let's go introduce ourselves.
Ojalá este juego no fuera tan caro.
Target confirmed down. Mage 2.
Me gusta esta libertad de
Mage 2. Targets in range. Parabombers.
Trigger, stay calm. We got this. I know the kid's shown some promise, but let's remember, he's the best guy this
me
week.
da risa.
Engage special weapon. That's it. That's right, that's it.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. Give me some orders back at base so we can make it in one piece.
Momento para
Skykeeper doesn't make the word of mouth. Tell it to hands.
It's bomber and escort.
Their trigger, settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage
sí.
1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Welcome.
Avión
Mage 2,
especial.
let's maintain element.
Ah, como traje para el MiG-21.
Mage 2 enemy groups.
HQ, attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify. Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps
Eso
my
me lo va a
ass.
esquivar.
Can't tell them apart.
Vamos a
Go to
acomodarnos.
I'm on this one's tail.
La veo un poco, tiro hacia atrás.
Mage 2, keep your focus. We got this. Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between
dejaron a los bombarderos solos.
Got you now. Firing.
No debí haber hecho eso.
To Column and Mage, job well done. All bombers are down.
Pull up.
Our radar shows no sign of bandits.
Caution.
Clear.
Pull up. Caution.
Good going, Mage 2. Black Leader looks like he's got what it takes.
Caution.
Slow
Pull up.
down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Column Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones? What's the deal with all the drones? Column 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
¿Qué quedará investigar ahora que me fijo?
I am Princess Rosa Gusset Delise, of the Kingdom of Erusia. Citizens of Erusia.
Call sign is reached.
Oh, se ve hermoso.
We are currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk. We know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Eusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Eusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Eusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Eusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Qué lindo.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Yuja was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yuja, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yusian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
F.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Yusian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Me gusta esa mierda. ¿Qué puedo comprar? Super Hornet. Oye, pero quiero comprar el avión. ¡Ah, no tengo! Gano menos plata que en la Play 4, ¿por qué razón? Quizás se juego con el F-16 o el Tomcat. Pero no, yo juego mucho con ellos.
Main squadron sorting ASAP.
Tremenda misión, me encanta.
Current target is on rails. There's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. Yep. Target destroyed. 5 to go. Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage in construction. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
Welcome. Here they come. Take them down. Okay, recruit.
What happened? Status report. Multiple bogies on radar. They're close. Wait, they're being launched.
29 de un
Totally hostile. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of it as decoys. They're like a blast. These guys have great agility. All aircraft. You know what IG turns are, right? Use them. It's Scum 1. Bandits confirmed as UAV. Repeat, bandits are dropped. It doesn't matter. He's saying the war can change in an instant, you know. Yeah, just wish they gave us a bit more authority. Confirm destroy. Deal? Yeah. Double squadron. You're not gonna let Mage get on the floor area.
3 enemies to go.
He's mine. He's not getting away. I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
Thought I would try.
Ya me lo pensé. Entonces,
Shit. I got an enemy in front of me and behind me.
Keep your eyes open in those clouds. The enemy knows of you, so that's about it. Just chase him down and pull the trigger. He's mine. He's not getting away. Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
Skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB. No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest. Current target is on rails. There's still military vehicles.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
yo creo que como en 3 misiones más me compro el Super Hornet. Aunque no lo voy a usar, voy a quedar con los vehículos raros que me trae la versión deluxe. No hay mucha gracia hasta que llega el Raptor.
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier, Kestrel 2, was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel 2 is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, MQ-101. The Ocean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal Birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
Me encantan las misiones que involucran el Arsenal Bird. Son la maja. El Phantom será buena idea. Clásico, pero... Ah, este es el modelo, No, el Thunderbolt no, el Thunderbolt 2 es el 35. Sí, el 35. No. Fighting Falcon. Bro.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position.
Me encanta esto.
100. Maintain your current approach.
Está pasando la cara encima.
Repeating aborted. Go around and prepare to re-engage.
Momento plano. Interesante por el norte.
H Squadron, this is the situation. Gollum and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, welcome. Mage 1 to Goblin 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger time to show the other guys that you wild and dirty things. Once you hit one, not running your sights even in the
Phantom.
first hunting season. If you can't evade
debería descargar. Tengo tiempo. Parece que salían de creación especial. Un ace. Joder, estoy a 10 kilómetros. No, no lo logro.
Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
Que tenía los dedos.
H2 crashed.
Ya me estaba preguntando resolver.
We just learned that Rusians utilizing the arsenal burned. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
Just made a commission. We'll live through this, Trigger. These guys are definitely a step above the last drones. All aircraft, change in game. Destroy the arsenal. Take out Big Baby Huey. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2. Fight the situation.
It should still appear to be functioning okay.
Skeleton 3 is lost. Continue to maintain air superiority. HQ, let's have it. Maintain air superiority.
interesante.
Down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem 2,
head back to base. Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and clear your head.
Ahora pega.
Turning home.
Missile hit by friendly. Locked up. That's it, triggered their machines. Don't show them any mercy.
Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem squadron, contact safe. H2, UAV down.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
No le daba.
Going for the loader. Let's fight.
More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
No dieron.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile!
Sí pega, sí pega, sí pega.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report. Just talk to me.
I'm against it. 30. Twin tips. I can't shake it off. Imagine me with a boom.
Golem 2, stop fighting up front.
Mage 2, UAV down.
Ah, que no cayó. Ah, sí, sí cayó. Es un aliado también.
Mage 2,
You're gonna take some lesser odds of getting out of here, Ari. Machines don't get tired. Get those UAVs off of France.
Trask is out.
Not on my watch. Good job, Mage 2. Not as many guys out there.
Interesante.
Golem 2, what's your status? Status report. Golem 2, get a hold of yourself. Golem 2, get away from the enemy.
Golem 2,
Eso no
lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got Brownie?
Afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry. All UAVs have been splashed.
I said what I had to say.
Chale, la mataron.
About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA.
Y
That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem squadron, main squadron, withdraw.
oh, qué bonita la luna.
Stall warning.
se preocupen, yo soy piloto de War Thunder, sé aterrizar perfectamente un avión.
Your approach looks good. Stay on course.
Freno de aire. Tiene el ala en el último frontal. La rueda.
Perfect pitch 2. I knew you'd be back. Stand by for further orders. Be ready for your next sortie.
H Squadron, this is the...
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was a failure. The aircraft carrier Kestrel II was sunk during the attack on Farbanti. Carrier-borne aircraft mistakenly bombed urban areas, and this has turned public opinion in neutral countries against us. Our own forces also suffered heavy losses. If it weren't for a few extraordinary fighters, many of us wouldn't have made it home. The situation is grim. We have precious little time, however. We have to get to the space elevator.
Jalo. Espérate, ¿por qué para Strike Eagle? No derribé ningún ace. ¿Habrá sido por la misión? Del Strike Eagle.
Here he comes.
Qué rico en Foucault.
Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Aruja's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Aruja lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? Because someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osea, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osea was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osea down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Erusea, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
Dios santo, quiero pilotear algún día. Necesito hacerlo. Ay, qué linda toja.
As proved by the failure of our previous strategy, the Arsenal birds have bolstered the enemy's anti-air network. This will be difficult to overcome. However, we still need to get swiftly to the space elevator no matter what it takes. Someone there is counting on us. The hero of the Circum-Pacific War and the man who spearheaded the construction of the space elevator. Osea's former president, Mr. Harling. Mr. Harling was inspecting the elevator when the war broke out. He's been classified as missing since the elevator was taken over by the Erusian forces. However, according to the latest intel, a military officer accompanying Mr. Harling hid him inside the facility. Both are waiting for a chance to escape. Enemy anti-air radar network has been set up around the space elevator. It's likely a large squadron would be detected. We will send a single aircraft through the network and send in a rescue team soon after. A number of anti-air radars have been set up around the space elevator. However, our reconnaissance suggests their network is weakest along the southeastern coast of Selatapura, so we can elude the enemy's observation. There are a lot of rain clouds this time of year. Flying through the clouds will enable us to stay hidden from their radar. If you happen to be detected by their radar, we will be forced to abort the mission. The lone pilot will head up this strategy as you, Trigger. After you bust through, secure the rescue craft's landing zone by taking out the anti-air weapons. Gollum and others will arrive shortly for support. Provide escort for Mr. Harling's craft after rendezvous. Good luck out there, everyone.
Me encanta eso de volar. ¿Qué tiene esto? 16. Muy poco. Voy a llevar el F-16. Fighting fire.
Aircraft operations complete. Sortie ASAP.
Me encanta el tema de la fecha en este juego.
Entering operation area. Imposing radio silence. We'll radio you, but you are not permitted to make contact.
If you're spotted, the mission is over. Stay out of enemy radar.
Caution. Pull up.
Use of weaponry is also
Caution.
strictly forbidden. Okay, you're heading up the Harling rescue mission. The success of this mission depends on you. Good luck.
No me acuerdo que hubiera nubes y lluvia en la Play 4 en esta misión. Giro de a poco con el L1.
Don't celebrate yet. The real fight's about to get started. Radio silence is now lifted. The auxiliary craft will be arriving shortly. Destroy the anti-air around the space elevator. We're securing Sea Goblin's landing zone. H2 target destroyed. Power from the SAM sites are down. H2 target down. Break, missile incoming. Target down. Nicely done.
Gunfire. Now it's our turn.
All SAM sites down. There are still AA guns. Destroy them and secure the LZ. The Sea Goblin will arrive shortly. Hostile anti-air before them.
This is Sea Goblin. We arrived. Do we have a clear LZ?
Mission still in progress. Stand by. H2, rescue team can't land until anti-air weapons are down. Destroy them. All anti-air guns destroyed. The landing zone is secure. Sea Goblin, clear the lane.
Roger.
Multiple bandits over Salatapura Harbor. They're container-launched UAVs.
Rescue craft tagged on. Initiate.
Momento, pa.
Rescue craft on the ground is defenseless. Call the man. Destroy all hostiles.
It's been a long journey. Home stretch.
Gargoyle will stand by near the space elevator.
Sea Goblin. Heading over to the express location now. Going for the container! Enemy has a radar.
Falló, sí, falló. En los años 60 y hacían misiles de tiro de alta G de 30 de inversión. Este Falcon de verdad ¿qué onda? ¿Son Sidewinder,
Stall warning. Stall warning.
¿Todavía son Sidewinder debajo ahora mismo? No le va a pegar. No podéis confiar en lo que tengo que Ryan. No, no veo. Este tampoco.
Gargoyle 3 to Babel. Babel, roger.
Se me hace no, no es un
Oh my god, Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was Ocean. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating.
Friendly fire. I saw it.
Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like it tried to protect the elevator. The Rusian bastards, they just killed a hero.
Mage 1. Was it Trigger? Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told you to keep a goddamn eye in the hatchling. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately. Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand?
The operation to rescue former President Harling has failed. Sadly, there is no hope he survived. Trigger, you are suspected of assassinating the former president. There will be an inquiry. There will most probably be a court-martial.
F. Ay, miras. F. Ya jugó la última vez, se puso en la universidad, maldición.
Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, we must have looked to them like the Ocean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Ocean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this, talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
Ese odio. Pedazo de misión, me encanta.
All right, guys, I'll let you in on some juicy info. The new guy was found guilty by the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial. He is the murderer of Harling in the flesh. His tag name's Trigger. Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Ocean Air Force Base 444th Squadron. But that is just some symbolic bullshit. It doesn't really matter if he's Harling's murderer or not. Every last one of you has been incarcerated for one reason or another. You cons have an obligation to atone for your crimes. A few of you in the penal unit know how to fly, and HQ needs to plug the deficit in our Air Force. So they proposed sending you guys on a reconnaissance mission to the Waiapolo Mountains. But that idea was flat out rejected. Nope, you'll be atoning for your crimes right here at this base. This base is a decoy designed to draw enemy fire, and as members of this base, you'll be taking hits from the enemy. This will allow our forces to safely prepare a counterattack. switch off that alarm. It's just the usual. I thought Zapland was supposed to be an isolated area. Okay, I'm gonna need a few aircraft to scramble.
Again?
Wonder how many we'll lose today.
Hace 130.
Enemy aircraft detected over the dummy runway.
We just need to make it look like we can put up a fight. Some of those piles of junk can at least take off. Let's get the guiltiest cons in the sky first. We'll start with Harling's murderer. We don't expect you to down any bombers. But what we do want is to make them think that we've got an active base here.
Voy a derribar lo que se me ocurran, así que... Oh, de lujo, abierto, avanzar. Ay, super Hornet. Recuerdo del Battlefield. Recuerdo está bien jugando. Uy, más carga de misiles. Me faltaba el Raptor. No le compré la cuestión. Este antiguo. Ah, me falta poco para el Lightning.
Convicts, proceed with your mission now.
Follow orders, Trigger. Taxi to the runway now. Check your altimeter and wait in front of the runway.
Control, would you kindly send me up first?
Spare 8, Champ, this is the control tower. You're not cleared for takeoff. Obey orders.
Go to hell.
All aircraft preparing for takeoff. Watch out for Spare 8. He's forcing a takeoff.
I'll take up command. Any objections? That'll get decided in the skies. Touche.
Trigger, your call sign is Spare 15. Consider it your prisoner number for the air. Commencing deception and interception.
Spare 15, the runway's free. You have permission to take off. Go now.
Toss the jump in solitary once he gets back. Spare 8, when you land, your ass is grass.
Spare 15, takeoff confirmed. Altitude restriction lifted and go.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Ahí está, vamos a ponerse, se está cayendo el pincito. Se me dio la perra. Límite con la pista.
Right. Stand by for your next sortie.
I lost a lot of money for that trigger. Don't forget.
Spare 15 runways free. You have permission.
Quiero pilotear el flanker.
Did I say you could take down the enemy? Throw anyone who disobeys into solitary.